pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Samuels?
Member Williams.
Here.
Member Luna.
Here.
Member Sanders. Here. Member Long.
Here.
Member Castillo.
Here.
Member Pedrosa.
Here.
Did not hear from Lisa. Did anybody hear from her? The mayor called.
She had text, did she
She
not?
said she wasn't.
Said she wasn't. gonna
He was
be
on a
here.
group text, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. And the mayor called, text and said he wasn't gonna be able to make it. So we'll move on to the minutes for May 28, 2026. Entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve
I
minutes.
second that motion.
Second by, Ms. Castillo. Call for the roll, please.
Member Williams.
Aye.
Member Luna.
Yes.
Member Sanders. Aye. Member Long.
Aye.
Member Castillo.
Aye.
Member Pedrosa.
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to petitions. Going once. Going twice. Somebody stole the gavel. Petitions are closed.
Use your head.
All right, shut up, Brett. Remonstrances, going once. Remonstrances, going twice. Remonstrances, 3 times are closed. Public statements, going once. Come on, Fred, you gotta have something. Public statements going twice. Public statements is now closed. We have no unfinished business tonight. New business. We have resolution 2026-01. It's a temporary transfer from the general to the sanitary district.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
motion to approve resolution 2026-01, temporary transfer from general to sanitary.
no second? I'll entertain a motion for this to be postponed to the next meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second to table? Okay, we're tabling. Out of respect for Mr. Dalton that drove all the way here from, it looks like Florida with that suntan he's got. We're gonna ask him to come up and give us just a brief synopsis of why this resolution is before us, please.
Thank you, and good evening, council. So the purpose of this resolution was not only to reduce the total loan balance, the outstanding balance, which was $600,000, down to $400,000 from a $200,000 payment from the sanitary district, which they had already approved, by the way. It also, second, renews the remaining $400,000 loan balance so that it could then be extended 1 more year to final repayment June 30th of 2027. Now, based on that decision that was just made, what this would do is cause the sanitary district to have to pay the full balance by the end of this current month. And my recommendation, and for what it's worth, is the reason they have been paying incrementally over the last several years is for cash flow purposes. The current fund balance, I don't have it off the top of my head, but it is a significant portion, $400,000 is a significant portion of the sanitary district operating fund. And so, if there was any confusion, also, there is no additional monetary value from this resolution. This is repayment of a loan that was already issued several years ago. So I just wanted to clarify that for the council.
And they have already paid 200,000 in the last couple of days because they just approved it at their meeting on Monday. So it's now down to 400 now already.
Mr. Can we ask? a question?
Sure, open discussion,
Just because
Daniel?
we understand it, but we don't understand the part about, I mean, we don't even have where they've been spending their money not to have enough money to pay the loan, or they want to add another year to, you know what I'm saying? And it just seems like lately, this year, they've been coming, they need money for this, they need money for that at one.
not just this year.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
But they had brought up about doing Central or something, they needed like $500,000, but that never came forward on the council meeting.
Well,
But
sanitary.
we
would
just
do
want
that.
to know, we'd like to know where is the money going that we approve budget wise that they need a loan or they need to extend this loan, not so much need a loan, just to extend it.
It is a great question,
And
Councilman.
it's not fair to us that we have to discuss this during the council meeting. Nobody from the city reaches out to us to say this is a reason, this and that. So then we have heads up about it and what exactly the meaning of this is, you know?
Sure. So first off, I would have been happy to discuss at any moment in time, and feel free to reach out to me. Second of all, if the sanitary district is required to pay the full balance remaining on this loan yet this month, it will severely inhibit their very soon cash flow situation.
Don't you think that they should have came to us then? Prior to this? Then
That's-
I mean, we just got the agenda. And
So every year for the last 3 years, this resolution has been on the June agenda. That's the only comment I'll make on that.
with no
We know
prior
that.
discussion.
But if I may, Ms. Kelly,
So,
you keep coming to us and your credit score keeps going down because you aren't paying what you're borrowing. You're borrowing 600, but you want to short pay it. Then you want to borrow again and short pay that. That's where we're kind of confused. And I looked at the appropriation report that Brenda sends us every month. And I looked at that 6601 fund sanitary. And I looked all through that far right column that says how much money has been spent. There's probably a half a dozen or 7 or 8 of them, Brenda, that haven't been touched. There's still 100,000. I mean, they're still 100%.
That is just appropriation.
Appropriation,
But I can run for you guys. It'd probably be very helpful. It's a report I run for myself and many things. Say Fund 6601, which is
Yes.
sanitary. You could do the same thing for stormwater 6501. It would show revenue and expenditures from day one of the year.
Mhm.
It would show every in, every out, the payable, the receipt, who it's from, what it was spent on, and a running balance. So that would probably help with it as well. I could run you and send those to you. It only takes a few minutes.
Well, the idea that we extend the loan till next year, we heard that last year, and you're asking, not you, but they're asking us. When we formed that sanitary district some years ago, way before Bill Carroll even thought about being a politician. And we had to form that sanitary district in order to pay a bond or get a bond to pay the Gary Sanitary District Board money we owed them because of short payments done on the sanitary district from Gary's bills that they sent to Brenda. And she was instructed even before that to short pay those. We're not paying that. Then we got sued. So we formed this sanitary district, to do the bond to pay this off. But the sanitary district and the stormwater, it's the same board. They don't feel like we're relevant, in our opinion, because they're spending money, they're borrowing money, and we've been told by people that work under those individuals that they don't need us. And then you come to us wanting to borrow money repeatedly from, you can call it the general fund till hell freezes over, but we're borrowing money from the water cell because the 4.7 that we get in draws to fund our general fund, that's not enough. I mean, we're getting money from these revenue sources on top of our 4.7 million that we get in our tax draws, right, Brenda?
Yes.
If I go haywire, throw something at me. But they're not watching their spending. I don't see too many projects that we're doing and have not really heard Adrian. We haven't seen Adrian, the stormwater people, the sewer board. They don't come to meetings hardly anymore. I guess the mayor doesn't insist that they come because they don't get paid, but a report was nice. We got reports last month, but there was nothing about this loan in that stormwater report or sewer report, was there?
No.
I think Adrian was out of town, so he wasn't here to help with that, line of questioning that we would have had, but you said in the resolution that if we didn't do what was needed as far as letting you short pay and borrow more money, that that fund would run out of money before the end of the year. Is that what you're saying?
no, Councilman, they are not borrowing more money. They're extending the due date.
Which is June.
It's a 1-year payment. Well, it's a 1-year loan every single year. It's renewed.
Yeah.
So that saves the sanitary district's cash flow by extending it for 1 year.
Brenda, have they always paid back the full of 600 from previous loans?
No, they never had. It started with 1.2 million.
Yes.
And every year they've reduced it by paying like 300,000. And then because it has a due date of June 30th, there's a new resolution to finance the balance. So it's not a new loan, but it brought it down each time. It was 900,000. If I had it.
Yeah, we talked about this, but I didn't write it all down, Brenda. I
Yeah,
appreciate you bringing it.
Have a chart. It was 1.2 million, then they paid it down 300,000, it was 900. In 25, they paid it 300,000, it's now down to 6. They've already paid 2 instead of 3 like they have the last couple of years. So it's already down to 4. So this, but that's due, all of it by June 30th.
Mhm.
So this resolution would now extend it to next year, just paying back the balance. So it's
But
not a new
possibly,
loan.
We see, like you had said, I didn't catch that. They paid 300, then 300, and this year 200.
Correct.
So that by extending the loan, I don't know how it goes. That's why I'm asking. What changed it from the 300 they were paying down to 200 this year?
Evidently, the amount that they.
That they spend.
That they have to pay back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not been discussed with me either. I just.
No, I
telling
just
you-
wonder if there's a
Well, I
set
don't
amount
think
they're
there's,
supposed
I
to.
really don't think there's anything really underhanded, but there again, we've had this complaint for the last couple of years is about no transparency. And then you show up and try to sell us, not the mayor or the sanitary board or one of their representatives. We're bringing an outside contractor in to sell us on something. Adrian may or may not be completely up to speed on it. I won't throw, him under the bus for it. So what they want to do is just ask, for the 400,000 to be extended till next year instead of paying their loan. You go to the pawn shop or you go to the knee breaker, Vito down on the corner and borrow money. You say, I'm going to pay it back on this day. You either pay it back or you have to answer to a couple guys at your door. I mean, I don't get what they're spending all this money on, Adrian.
Yeah, all this money is being spent on infrastructure. I mean, if you guys can recall some of the previous department head reports by sewer department the past year or two, there's been
Mhm.
multiple lift stations redone. Crossroads, totally brand new lift station was constructed, which is
We didn't get money from Frank Burvan on that,
a little bit, yes,
more than half.
yeah,
Yeah,
but just the generator for that lift station costs $500.
well, I get you. I get that.
Just for one generator.
I get that.
That whole entire, lift station was like $2 or $3 million to build that. All the money is being spent on infrastructure
Well, we know it's spent on infrastructure, but anything they want to spend it on, they can.
and right now, the sanitary department is gearing up for a major force main replacement, which would increase capacity, sewer capacity for the city. We have a gentleman, actually a developer and his team who purchased land just north of Old Hobart Road. And they're ready to build 60 homes in there. We're actually working with them to get at least 3 like show homes done.
Yes,
Only 3 because we do not have capacity
right.
to take in sewage from 60 homes. The
Yeah.
Capacity is not there. We are maxed out. Same thing with just south of Old Hobart Road where Riverwalk subdivision is.
Yes.
They've been building homes in there. They want to build more. We need more capacity. So that's the main project that the sanitary department's gearing up for right now is to put in a new force main and increase capacity. Once that's done, I mean,
There's a tornado warning.
we can start building homes.
Well, we heard that.
Yeah.
We heard about the Riverwalk subdivision. I'm old enough, and so is Brenda, that we remember when we were sold that subdivision was going to be 165 homes. And back at that time, the county was kind of running that whole program over there. And we did sewer main under Deep River up Montgomery Street. It's obvious to me today that we would have never been able to handle the 165 homes that were supposed to go in Riverwalk in those 3 phases. We only got about 30 homes over there, if that. So now we want to build another subdivision across the street
And Lauren River.
And that's Terry Moore and his guys because they sued the city. Because back when Shirley Wadding was the mayor, I was on the council, we got sued by that. Because we had a sewer moratorium, because we approved the Riverwalk, which is basically across the street. And we couldn't have handled the 165 homes, but we put sewer main under Deep River, big project back then. And the county, I think, kicked in on it. Pete Visclosky kicked in on it, but we didn't do enough, obviously, to do that. So they don't want to spend the extra 400,000. They don't want to put that back in the general fund because they would like to work on this project or two and have that 400,000. So they're asking, can we just pay you the 2, which they did? And the 4 wouldn't be due until, and that would be the balance, Brenda?
Yes.
That would be the balance of the 1.2 million that, if I calculated that right the other night, it's, yeah, 23 was gonna be paid back, should have been paid back by now, completely. Yes, yeah.
One more thing to add about that. I think the way this loan was structured is in the beginning, when it was loaned out for 1.2 million, was to be paid back in 1 year. I think it has to be that way, right, Daniel?
That's why it's always June 30th.
So,
Then
yeah,
it's
so
rewritten and extended.
to pay
I know, but you haven't paid it back.
to pay 1.2 million in 1 year,
Sure.
not the easiest.
Well,
thing.
why'd you agree to, why did the
Why
city
did you
and
make that
the,
deal then?
yeah, why'd you make the deal if you had no intention of paying it back? I mean, I knew we weren't gonna have the money.
For the necessary investment, right?
Right, I knew that. So, I mean, I get what we're doing. We're not adding anything. We're just asking. We are just asking. You know, and Adrian kicked in a few comments there that are helpful, but yeah, we got sewer report that Walter sent, emailed us, and we got this and that we need to get done. I guess it's just poor money management, really, because you borrow money and then you don't pay it back. And then you come to us and say, hey, wait a minute, I had a, you know, my car quit running, so I can't pay back the loan. I need some, yeah,
It is being paid back, just not.
not like agreed upon. That's the whole thing. You agreed to something that you've never honored the agreement.
So what do we plan on for next year? That we're gonna hear the same story that we don't have the 400,000 this.
Well, they may have it, they just don't want to pay the general fund back.
Well,
Well, no, let me
Sure,
finish. It went from 332. So what's to say they can't say, well, we're only gonna give you 100,000 next year?
They can if we approve it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they can ask for that.
yeah.
That would depend on the balance of the fund at the time.
One of the points that I think the council is trying to make today, Adrian, as a representative of the administration, the executive body, is transparency, inclusion of what's going on. You know, from, you know, that's why we ask the department heads to come to meetings, you know, and they don't want to because they don't have to. If they feel like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But that's not our problem. We can't make them do that. They work for the mayor and they work for you. So to table this for we could table it for 2 weeks. We've already tabled it.
We haven't voted on it yet.
No, we haven't voted on it, but we have another council meeting in 2 weeks. That's June. We have another
No, I just want to make sure you know.
Sure. We haven't voted on it yet, but we just had a motion to table.
Yeah.
And then I asked Daniel out of respect, because Daniel, I knew when I walked in the door, Daniel was sitting there while he was here. Because he's doing the work, you know, with the monies, you know, do you also represent the sanitary board?
The whole city,
City
Mhm.
overall, yeah.
frankly,
So he knows more than we do.
not necessarily.
I mean, as far as the money goes. We don't know what's going on. I look at the appropriation, I go, I don't see any short line items in there. I mean, they could be by the end of the year, but in the resolution, it says in there, we won't be able to pay people. And that got to Erica, obviously. You know, in the resolution, it says we won't be able to pay people if you don't let us extend the 400,000 to next year, you know? Yeah, but we would never let that happen because we'd take money from somewhere. We'd approve a transfer to another line to make people get paid to go to work every day. So
Mr. Chairman, I have
they
a
don't
question.
have to add that in their next resolution. You're right.
I do have a
Yes.
question.
Ms. Castillo?
Do we get punished for not paying 100% by the end of the month, or do they just allow with no interest rate for the other year, like 0 interest rate in addition to the?
It's legally required by state
It's illegal.
statute to pay it back in the time that you said,
Right.
which is why
No interest.
we're not doing any workarounds here by extending, right? So it's
That's why I'm just
completely in
saying.
our wherewithal to
Yeah.
extend the remaining balance. So
It's, Erica, it's totally legal.
No,
For
I
them
think it
to
wasn't
extend
legal.
it.
I just want to know
But
if there's
there's
any
no
more interest
interest.
added to it if we wait another year.
0%.
Okay, that's.
There's no, interest. We're not, we didn't We didn't loan them any money and again, there's no interest. It's just taking it from here and putting it over here. We should charge you interest the way you guys are not wanting to pay it back. Yeah, Adrian, go ahead.
Chairman, I mean, that was the purpose of even borrowing in the first place, was because the sanitary district, these lift stations needed to be built, had to be done, otherwise we're gonna have homes backing up with sewage.
Right.
This had to be done a couple of years.
Well,
ago.
everything's had to, but for the last 5, 6, 8, 7 years, no, we didn't do nothing.
Why would the district go and, borrow and bond out where they're gonna have to pay interest versus just borrowing
Right.
from the city
Right.
to pay 0 interest?
Because we're easy. That's why.
I've-
Go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
Adrian, on the lift stations, do we contract out Superior Pump to do work on them?
They do a lot of work.
Yeah. Certain things.
A lot that we don't know how to do, or we just don't have the
No, not a
manpower?
whole lot, just certain things that, there's some pretty technical computer systems in those lift stations. So sometimes a lot of times if help's needed with those, yes, they'll be called for that.
And where you need.
Which is actually mandated by the state for us to even install those computer systems inside the lift stations.
We could train somebody to do it and hire them, and have somebody on hand, but we'd have to pay them accordingly. So we have people that aren't qualified to do that type of IT stuff on the lifts.
Extensive.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, I get that. I get that part, but
So we don't use Superior a lot?
we get the receipts from Brenda. She's got pages of them, I'm sure.
See it when I get it.
Anyway, the idea of not knowing and then just get an agenda that says, then we read the resolution, it's like, would you please extend this again? I mean, by law, state statute, Daniel, you're telling me that when you did the 1.2 by law, it said you had to say June 30th was going to be paid back the following year. But we're within the law to let you short pay that. Because we've been doing it. If you renew, yeah. So it's basically a new loan, but it's the same loan, you follow? So that part of it is, 22 years I've been here, we have to do it, because previous people didn't do it. You follow? And it's not Adrian's fault, because these guys are trying to get stuff done. And EPA and IDEM are on us a lot more than they ever were in the old days. They didn't care if we flooded. Back in the old days, spillage would go over in the river. They'd give a slap on the wrist. We just keep spilling it into the river. So any more discussion from anybody? We have a motion to table to next
More
meeting.
discussion.
Any more discussion? Adrian, you have anything additional to add?
No, the only thing is, I just want to be able to build more homes in the city and increase capacity. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And we do have land, the city owns a lot of land, about 20+ acres just north of Bailey School. We need more capacity to even get someone to purchase that
That'd be a
land.
different lift station over there.
So,
That'd go to Crossroads.
we need.
We had enough.
We just have areas where
Yeah.
we can have more development in the city, but we have to have the capacity for sewage. So
Yep.
that's our main goal. And
What I would say is that, of course, we would like that. That's actually gonna be my district. So of course, I would love to see that. But I would also love to see the transparency of it also. Be involved a little bit, especially since it's my district.
Yeah, we had
I
400.
didn't even know for a long time what was going on. And I had to ask. I mean, we should be involved.
Yes, well,
That would be nice.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
If we could be involved, that would be great. And it's in my district. So of course I would like to know about these kinds of things, so that's would be my biggest thing too, is, you know, keep us involved.
I know I make you guys tired of talking about, we had a developer before us north of Bailey Street that wanted to put 400 apartments in there. Back when Shirley Wadding was the mayor, going into Keith Sodakwa's thing, but back then, I didn't hear anything about capacity to not be able to take the sewer for that. Because we had that project with the Bailey lift station was kind of creeping along. Visclosky was helping and we were doing a little bit. But the only reason they didn't do that over there is because that apartment complex was so close to the school with the traffic and so on. And we got sued for the people that own the property north of Old Hobart Road because there was a sewer moratorium put in to allow Riverwalk to go in. And then Riverwalk fell on its face didn't even complete the first phase. Right, Fred? They didn't even complete the first phase. It was supposed to be 65, and the balance supposed to be like 150 homes or plus over there. And that's not working. But when we did, of course, Walter probably wasn't involved, and we didn't have a sanitary board then, sewer board. But when we did the sewer line under Deep River and up Montgomery to tie in here at Fairview, I wish we would have done more. Of course, it would have cost more if the capacity was bigger with pumps and everything required, but you know, all of us are in favor of economic development, obviously, and more homes and assessed value increases and so on and so forth. But you got to build a lot of homes to, you know, when you're spending these amounts of money, you know, we could borrow some from Mayor Huddleston. Howard, Josh, help.
That's the interest.
Yeah, he'd probably charge you a little interest. So, any other discussion? Call for the roll.
Member Williams?
Aye.
Member Luna?
Hi,
Member Sanders?
Hi.
Member Long?
Aye.
Still,
Nay.
you're saying no. You don't want, okay.
I mean,
Rose,
yeah, this one.
hi.
All right, Daniel, thank you for coming. We'll expect to hear.
Feel free to call me directly.
Yep. Yeah, we'll shoot you an email.
Okay.
Or Adrian. When we talk about, we'll move on to council comments, I guess. We'll start with Mr. Councilman Pedrosa tonight.
Thanks for coming out. Just be careful out there when you guys go to leave. That's it.
Ms. Castillo.
Thanks for coming out, Fred. Thanks for talking to us about the
Fred.
transfer from general to sanitary and giving us more of the information that they were looking for and I was looking for. And everybody be careful in the storm outside.
Ms. Williams.
Daniel, thanks for coming out and explaining everything to us. Adrian, of course, always thank you. It helps when we know more than what this is. I mean, we read it, but not all the time is it clear. This is a lot more clear when you actually can listen to somebody tell us exactly what's going on. Real quick, I want to get us out of here too, but there is a scammer going around right now, Lake County property taxes. Please pass it around to the elderly, most definitely. They're calling saying your taxes weren't paid. You need to make payment right now. And they actually have gotten one of the phone numbers out of the Lake County Treasurer's Office. So it actually looks like Lake County Treasurer's Office is calling you. Please make sure that we are relating this to the elderly because they will be the first to not understand or know. Tell them the Lake County Treasurer's Office would never call them and demand payment ever. They might get a letter, but they're never going to call them. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming out.
Councilman Luna.
Be real quick. Adrian, you know that where Central Tow used to be on DeKalb, right next to CSA? When the people bought that property, did we give them approval to park a bunch of semi-trailers there and semis where they're completely full, both lots? And they're doing stuff all times of hours, so people complaining because they hear semi, smell the diesel fuel.
Yep.
And I got a thing of pictures for you, just wondering, if you buy something, and my understanding, they're selling even parts out of there, to me, that makes it like a junkyard. And by law, they gotta have a liner in the ground and all that. But even if they're just using it for storing all this stuff, which is quite a bit. How did they get approval from us on that? Being they bought the property, which was a towing yard. And now they've created a giant storage for semi-trailers and semis.
I'm not sure how long, when did this start? How long has this been going?
I'm not sure, but I know
Year
two
ago.
different people talked to the mayor about it. But they never heard of an outcome of what happened. So one of them called me up. I know the gentleman, went over there, I took pictures and I gave the council a set of pictures. I'm gonna give you a set.
Okay.
Just to wonder, how are we letting people do this? Cause they gotta get a business license, right? They gotta tell what their business is, does, And like I said, when the deal was made on that place that is jam-packed with cars and semis and trailers on Liverpool, we were told originally they would just have the semi there to work on the mechanics. Now it looks like a junkyard. There's over 100 cars and trucks and trailers in
It's a
there.
mess.
So I don't get it, how, and it's the citizens complaining, how are we letting them do this kind of stuff? We're next to the junkyard in Liverpool, building a fence and like a business, a bunch of equipment, pole barns going up. Who's giving approval for this? And I understand with zone and all that stuff, but I just
Anytime
wonder.
pole barns get built, I mean, that goes through the planning commission, so. Those are approved, anything coming up is approved, and that comes to you guys for
It has never come to us.
Hasn't come to plan commission.
Nope,
what has it.
nothing.
No, he's right, nothing's come to us.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, just do what you want.
The last pole barn we did approve was on,
Behind the home on
Matthews.
Yeah,
Riverside.
Matthews
and
Lawn,
then before that was on
The house.
51, a house.
across the street.
Few.
Right.
Yes.
Can't say nothing comes to you because.
No, what we're
Nothing on these issues that we're talking about,
Adrian
on these
Hansen.
particular issues, yeah.
I can tell you guys, we need help, we need manpower in the building department, we have one person out there doing things, we have no building commissioner. We have.
Why don't
You
you,
got an acting building commissioner, I read.
we have no-
Online.
I mean, this stuff will have to,
Yeah, it's budget.
we have budget coming up, so I'd like to talk to you guys more about
Yep.
that, yeah, during the budget session.
Absolutely.
Let's start early this year.
Right around the corner, yes.
Daniel?
On it.
Start early this year, so we can.
we'll hurt your feelings now, so you'll be prepared.
Anything
Oh,
else,
that's it.
Mr. Luna?
Sorry, that's it. Just a question.
Councilwoman Sanders.
I got a few things, but I'll be really quick. I'd like to thank Daniel and Adrian for coming out, and Fred, of course, you too. And Eric, I can't forget you. Daniel, looking forward to getting those dates for our budget from you. So hopefully we could get something set up coming up really soon. So that we can all be there and participate in that. I'd like to thank Dina for handling an issue in the fourth district with some houses. Chief Richardson for checking on double parked cars, trucks and trailers along DeKalb. And I'd like to thank Adrian and Dwayne for handling the cleaning of a lot on Central Avenue that a resident was very upset about. Lastly,
You guys,
I know, I'm sorry. Saturday, June 13th, the Legion Post 100 right here off of Central is having a fundraiser. It's a spaghetti dinner and it's for their building fund.
Mhm.
It's $10 per person, $5 for kids 12 and under. So please come out and support. I know the Legion, we have a lot of parties, weddings, open houses there. So please come out and support them so we can keep that building up to shape so that we can use it for years and years and years to come. Thank you, and that's all.
What time's that start? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
That time.
It's on Facebook.
Okay.
It's on Facebook.
I love.
But she usually is on top of her announcements.
That's right.
Is that all you got?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's it.
I'll say,
The time while you're talking.
yeah, I'll say thanks to you four for coming. Brenda, you're 5, but you're pretty regular about coming.
Mr. Chairman,
It's a last meeting.
The
Last one was
me.
late.
the Catholic Church. The
Yes,
Catholic Church has their rummage sale this weekend as well.
okay.
St. Francis.
Before I forget, the rummage sale for St. Francis is starting
Right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the signs are all over on the intersections. But, yeah, please attend. Going back to Becky, Ms. Sanders here. She is right. The Legion needs a lot of work. And we all utilize it. We go to it. We try, they allow us to have meetings. We do everything that we can there when we are too big for here, you know. And there's a lot of little things, and those little things add up. That starts at 5 p.m. I think it's like 5 to 8.
Yeah.
At the Legion, the spaghetti supper, but they really need people in attendance to come to that. The Legion does a lot. They really help out a lot. And I think Becky's being primed for auxiliary membership. Pam Schaffner is the president of Women's Auxiliary. I'm sure Becky will be on that board shortly. She's on everything else. So thank you, Becky. Thank you, Daniel, for coming and giving us some clarity. They called the president and the president says, well, I haven't heard anything either, but I know there's ongoing needs for money. But understanding the statute, it says you have to give a date that you're going to pay back. I get that. By law, you have to do that. And we could just renew it the next year and be within the statute. And it's sometimes if we don't ask the questions and get clear on what it is, why can't you pay back the loan you promised to pay back? It's nice that Adrian come and elaborate on that. But these issues with these junkyards popping up all over the city, I really enjoyed being on the Planning Commission. I served off and on for nearly 20 years on the Planning Commission, but I was run off of the Planning Commission. The council tried to appoint me again and I declined. Because I've tried to run the Planning Commission the way I was taught to be run. And some people didn't agree with that and, you know, raised hell with me. And, you know, so I felt like they needed a secretary because the secretary wasn't coming to meetings. She resigned. And so that's why I declined your offer to be on there. But the zoning book is clear. I took the zoning book to the building department and had pretty extensive discussions when the guy put the mountain of dirt over there blowing in people's kitchen windows, coating their cars with dirt for the last 3.5 years. It was going to be gone that summer. This is the third summer. It's there. It's diminished. It's down. Fred's taking a lot of that dirt for the township and other people are buying it slowly. But in the meantime, he distracted the city by the dirt pile thing and started putting all these storage lockers and old pieces of equipment sitting on the edge of the road, no license plates on them, just right on the easement. And I think it's to make me mad because I complained about it. So, but the Planning Commission sets zoning. What's in the Planning Commission and the zoning book says what businesses or what you can run under certain zoning. I have a zoning book, probably needs to be updated, but we haven't changed spot zoned a bunch of these junkyards. I know the Planning Commission hasn't done that because it's never, it would have to come to us for final approval. And we have not spot zone changed all these junkyards that are popping up. I did a little digging with a couple neighboring communities. Some of these people have been run out of other towns and they end up here. I was told that by a former employee of the city that the guy was always being cited in a neighboring community. So they started bringing their stuff here and we're a little bit more lenient, I guess. And you make a point about we don't have a building commissioner, but we had a building commissioner when that stuff started to pop up all over the city. And he took a better offer. Can't blame a guy for, you know, bettering his life. He took a better offer and went somewhere else. We reduced the position down to a part-time building inspector. And we wanted somebody that had building experience, that has actually built something. Okay. And there was a gentleman that applied and he was told that we didn't have any money. You hire a worthy individual, you start him out part-time. If you come to us, you bring the guy to us, we're open. We're open. I'm not in favor of putting somebody in the building that never built anything. And I was afraid that was probably going to happen. And you understand why. Because we can't get things, you know, I know one person can't do everything. But for God's sake, make an effort to hire somebody with some experience. There's 25,000 in there. I would think 25,000 to get somebody through the end of the year. We need a guy retired, the guy that used to build homes, was in construction, that knows something about building and the codes. All you have to be able to do is read the zoning book, the code book. It's in there about what's allowed and what's not allowed. So these things are in your districts. I guess you just continue to bring those up. And hopefully at some point in time, something will be done. I get yelled at constantly. You're on the planning commission. Whoa. Talk to Jason. But they think that we're okaying all this stuff, and we are not. We are not okaying these things. So
Those tires hurt pretty bad.
yeah, so we have a lot of issues. We'll readdress this issue with resolution 2026-01, I promise. The next month, maybe between then, we can get a few comments or, a little input from the mayor and sewer, Adrian, even shoot a couple of emails back and forth. What's next and so on. I guess we could go on and on about it, but I have been. I've made a lot of enemies, City Hall, because I'm doing my job as a councilman, and these people are doing their jobs as well and asking questions and catching hell about it,
Yeah.
So-
Mr. Chair.
When they call me, yes,
Large tornado over Hobart.
Make a motion. to
we're
adjourn.
not in Hobart. I'm open for adjournment. You want to get out in the road?
Definitely.
Oh, hey, wait, one more.
Oh,
I'm sorry. 3 days
say
in a row
please.
now.
Wait a minute, say please. Okay, you're
3
great.
days in a row now, the water's been off in the same area off of Central. And remember I called you
Yeah.
3 days ago? Every morning, same thing, and All American Water sends to us is boil advisory's over. And nobody knows they have no water running in the morning. Can you please call them up and say, look, man, you can't just do that because people need the water when they're getting ready for work or school or whatever. And it's pretty bad when nobody knows about it, thinking, okay, they put boil advisories over, so the situation is done, and then all of a sudden your water don't work. So.
Good. No, okay, we don't own Indiana American Water. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Well,
When
you don't
we-
need to answer, let them.
No, well, we don't own Indiana American Water. Adrian can call them, but they're not gonna talk to Adrian.
It's in the city.
We did not.
Yeah, you got a second, you gotta get a second.
Second by Jason. Motion adjourned.